public discourse.
I liked your introduction when you said I could walk across party lines. I'm disliked equally by all sides. So I think nationally we all recognize the issue of public cynicism and the level of debate, especially featured by our friends on Fox News and MSNBC, where to get noticed you have to yell at each other, and I'm trying to see how we may differ here in Santa Cruz. I'm intrigued by the thought. Another quote that Bill had given me at the beginning was by David Brooks, who said, "America is suffering a devastating crisis of authority. The only way to restore trust is from the local community on up." And I was intrigued by that because here we are. We have I think for people who've been observing the local political scene for a really long time, going back many, many years, we've seen the issue of the characterization of our political opponents as evil. And I think at the Sentinel we certainly had to put up with that. There are a few companies that have been pointed out as evil. The Boardwalk comes to mind. UCSC has been vilified at times, and I think that that's been political strategy. And I think the unfortunate result of that has been that people are characterized as something before they even open their mouth. What I worry about even more is, and this is on the community level, I think really true, that in any of our most intense debates, the reasonable people sit on the sidelines. And there are a lot of reasons for that. One, they're not as impassioned and they're not as involved, and maybe they don't live in the area of a disputed potential development. But I've noticed over the years that writing editorials and now writing a column in Good Times, the number of emails and letters and phone calls that I have gotten from people saying, I really agreed with what you said, but I'm afraid to speak up myself because they're afraid of being vilified by somebody. And I think that we really lose in our local discussions because of that reason. And I think there are people in this room who feel, what's the percentage in speaking up? And I would like to see that change. Our issues, even on the local level, are complex. And that complexity does not come through often in the public debate when you have good versus evil, when you have a development that may help the community, but the people nearby don't want it for understandable reasons. And that issue gets described at every level in our discussions and even in our news articles about kind of characterized by the flamethrowers of each side. And again, the reasonable people are sitting out. I think what has been kind of most frustrating to me is I've had a wonderful opportunity over the years of having access to public officials and administrators who really understand local issues in their complexity. And when you have an individual conversation with them, you say, boy, are they smart. They really actually know their stuff, and they see it with the nuance. And by the time that debate gets out in the public, for whatever reason, that characterization of them is not what I'm seeing. And I think somehow there's got to be a way, and maybe we can explore that today, where some of the really, I guess in the intelligence of some of our public officials can be allowed to come through, where they don't have to communicate in sound bites. And I think the public officials who are here probably recognize this. As I say, I've been in a wonderful position to hear that over the years, and I've been extremely impressed with the knowledge of people, and somehow their message just isn't getting through.